we are going to go over how to solve an equation that has a variable on both sides. So if you look at page 1 of your 3.4 packet, we have the equation 2x plus 4 equals x plus 7. Okay? Now, we have a 2x here and an x here. We don't want a variable on both sides. So if I don't want this x here, in math, when we take things away, we subtract it. So I can either subtract x from both sides, or I can subtract 2x from both sides. Because I like to keep my variable positive, I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Now be careful here. A common mistake people make is they think, oh, the x cross out and I have a 2 there. That's not how we do it. If this is 2x plus 4 and I'm subtracting an x, I'm really subtracting a 1x. So 2x minus 1x is x. So now I have x plus 4 equals 7, minus 4 minus 4. Notice I'm keeping my equal sign in line, and I get x equals 3. Okay, now let's do the check. So, the check, 2x plus 4 equals x plus 7. For my check, I always rewrite the original equation. Now, I'm going to plug in a 3 for x. And I'm going to say, does this equal this? Let's do the math. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. And it works. 10 equals 10. Okay, let's try another one. We have 15 plus 4x equals 9x minus 5. Now again, I could subtract 9x from this side and 9x from here, or I could subtract 4x from both sides. I am going to subtract 4x from both sides because I like to keep my variable positive. Now that's my personal preference. You could have subtracted 9x from both sides, but now I'm going to subtract 5, subtract 5. Notice I'm keeping my equal sign in a line. 10 equals 5x. Divide by 5, divide by 5. X equals 2. Now go ahead, you do the check on your own, and then stop the video, turn it back on, and see if you get the same check as me. Practice doing your check. So I got x equals 4. I rewrite my original equation. Now I plug in a 4. 15 plus 16 is 31. 36 minus 5 is 31, check. Okay? So that was correct. Now, number 3, negative 3 minus 10x equals 25 plus 4x. So now, this is interesting. This is a negative 10x. Now, if I want a negative 10x to disappear, I add 10x to both sides. Notice I'm using the inverse property of addition. Negative 10 plus 10 becomes 0. So negative 3 equals 25 plus 14x minus 25 minus 25. Negative 28 equals 14x. Divide by 14, divide by 14. X equals negative 2. Okay, notice also I kept my equal sign lined up. Okay, now notice I say steps to solving an equation. Simplify both sides of the equation. Always get rid of parentheses by distributing and combine like terms. That's always step number 1, simplify both sides. Step number 2 is get variables on one side. Step number 3 is isolate the variable. So if we look at number 4, I notice the right-hand side is not simplified. So before I do anything, I must distribute and get rid of the parentheses. Now I'm ready to say Okay, now I need to get my variables on one side. I have a 4x here and a 6x here. I can either subtract 6x from both sides, or I can subtract 4x from both sides. I always like to keep my variable positive. Now I'm going to subtract 18, divide by 2, and x equals negative 15. Okay? So, you go ahead and do the check. Stop the video, do the check, and when you turn the video back on, I will do the check for you. So, the check, I rewrite my original equation. Wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a negative 15. Now 4 times negative 15 is negative 60 minus 12. Negative 15 plus 3 is 6 times negative 12. This becomes negative 72. This becomes negative 72, and it works. Okay. Now, that was page 1. The next video, I will go over problems from page 2, and the video after that, page 3.